Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's been a long fortnight of anticipation, but kickoff of Super Bowl 51 is just about upon us. For these players and coaches, it's the culmination of a lifetime of dreams. Which team will lift the Lombardi Trophy? We're about to find out. It's the Bills going up against the Packers. So the time has come. Let's send you out to the stadium and join the two men that will have the Super Bowl call. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the Buffalo Bills and the Green Bay Packers. They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The first carry for Patrick DeMarco. And he stopped immediately there. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And so often we talk about electric playmakers as we look at the offense here. Sammy Watkins, he's an electric playmaker.
Love the word you used. Electric indeed. Dynamic, and this guy makes plays and opens the game up.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be intercepted. And it's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it,
and he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Richard Rodgers, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play-action pass, you see the end result. Usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'd be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. And here's a look at the defensive unit that hopes to halt this offense today. They come out with one back and three tight ends. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. Well, they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
In that situation on 3rd and inches, it's not a surprise that you're going to have big-time guys up front trying to stop things, so you've got to win the leverage game. And the offensive line did that. They got lower than the guys in front of them and pushed them aside. But even they had to be surprised at what the result was. That kind of yardage on 3rd and inches, that's not what you get on every play.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Following the flag, 1st and 20 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Now they'll throw with Taylor. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Boy, stays off. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. Escaping the pressure right. Man open right side, it's the tight end Clay. Needed 13, and with a good spot, they got 13 and a 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Looking for his tight end, Clay, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Pass complete. But no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now a give to Taylor. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
On 2nd down, Taylor. He's got time in the pocket. And that's caught inside the 35. These guys told us, these guys being the coaches, they wanted to really stretch the field, get the ball down deep. They were able to do that here.
And you know when you stretch the field, you often leave guys in one-on-one situations, and that allows your better athletes to go up and get the football. I love the preparation that they put into this. They made it a priority, and they got what they expected.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Taylor on 1st down. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
From the gun, it's Taylor. Finding time. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Nick Perry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And the wideout in motion. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
A first carry for the vet, Danny Woodhead. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now Taylor. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And the offense needs 7 out of this play on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They come out here in the eye. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Man, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now it's Taylor. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is brought in at the 21. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On the ground, this is Woodhead. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
But that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Rodgers will try again on second down. Caught on the right side by Adams. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Rodgers now on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They go play action here on first down. Dumps it off to Woodhead. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a second and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They'll send the tight end Bennett in motion. Rodgers now on third and goal. Touchdown, Packers. Martellus Bennett from 8 yards out. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A big gain there for the Bills. 30 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And now they're in the hurry-up. On second down, here's Taylor. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A good pickup there at 22.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Offense lining up 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now Taylor on 1st down, escaping the pressure right. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 1st and goal from the 1 as they look to punch it in. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. And they're going to speed things up here. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tyrod Taylor taking it in. And the Bills draw a bit closer. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line lower than the defensive front.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. So the D-line's going to spread out. On play action, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Adams, the man in motion left. On play action, Rodgers. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. 5
yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And the play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Defense has to stand tall here. 3rd and 1. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. He dumps it underneath for Taylor. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 2nd down, Taylor steps away to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. The give will go to the fullback, DeMarco. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Still on his feet. Call it a 3-yard gain. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Shreds the tackle, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills have tied the game here in the 4th. Well, you talk about clutch right down the pipe, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
And he didn't leave much doubt there, did he? Good snap, good hold, and that one was dead center.
Now the Packers get set to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And at this stage in the game, every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. first down. Rodgers surveying the field. And this is going to be intercepted. Room here to run. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dree Archer, a 22-yard scamper. And the Bills have taken the lead. If there was a time to break off a nice run like that, it was right here to grab the lead in the fourth.
And it's just so much stress on a defense in that situation because you're looking at the clock. What are we guarding against? What's the first thing, right? The strike to the end zone, throwing the ball. Instead, they come back and hit him with a run. Block it well, and how about the physical run he made? Terrific job finding his way to the end zone to give him the lead.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Back to throw. He completes it middle of the field to Janis. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll come out in the pistol. He's back to throw. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
In motion left is Cobb. Back to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Shift together here from the D-line. To throw is Rodgers. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Rodgers. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now the rookie's free. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with the
ampersand?
I like it.
One more extra point attempt for good measure. It's up and it's good as they tack on one more to what's going to be a very satisfying victory. And these Bills make the 90s seem like a distant memory. Buffalo is the Super Bowl champion. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.